Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today we're going to be talking about building a winning marketing foundation for a hardscape contractor. Okay, now the reason having a foundation for your business is so important is because if you ever try to do any paid ads or content or anything along those lines, if you don't have a good marketing foundation for the business, they're just not going to work. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to have a very good marketing foundation, how to make sure that you're positioned in the best way possible. So when you do start running ads or when you do start trying to market your business, you will be in a position where you will succeed. Okay, so let's dive into it. The first thing we need to talk about is going to be your company's perception, because the way your company is perceived by homeowners will affect who wants to work with you. So for example, if your company is known as the best price company, you're going to get people that want the best price, meaning they want discounts, they want special offers and all those things, which is not ideal. It's not what most people want. On the other hand, if you're known as the company with the highest quality work or the go-to contractor in your city, then you'll be able to attract homeowners of higher caliber. People that want to spend $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 for their homes. Okay. And that's who most people want. Now, I understand that there's some of you that may just want to do those smaller 1 to 5 day turnaround jobs where you go in, you do your thing, you get out, you make money, and you go on to the next one, which is fine. Okay. So depending on what you want to answer these questions. So the first one you need to answer is going to be, what type of projects do you want to work on? What is the outcome you want from the people you get in front of? Okay. So once you answer this question, okay, in this case, I put in full remodels, pergolas, outdoor kitchens, patios, etc., that are worth 50K or more, right? So in this example, we're going for a higher tier of customer. Okay. But if you prefer those smaller jobs, that's totally fine. Okay. Just make sure to edit this for yourself. Next, you want to ask what type of homeowner usually wants those projects done, and you want to describe them in detail. Now, I wrote here something random, just a quick example. But that being said, if you don't know how to answer this question, you could just plug it into ChatGPT. So you want to say, hey, I want to attract homeowners. I want these types of projects that are worth XYZ amount. Tell me which type of homeowner wants those projects and can actually pay for them. Describe them in detail. And what ChatGPT is going to do is going to give you a full description of the type of homeowner that you want to work with. And you can ask them more questions like, what are their hobbies? What's the best way to sell to them? How can I find them? And you can get a lot of very, very, very useful information from that. Once you get this question answered, you want to go to what type of company are those homeowners attracted to? Okay. Now, again, you can literally just ask ChatGPT, or what I wrote here is that homeowners that want, those bigger size jobs usually want to work with someone that does outstanding work, that is actually reliable, that has good communication, and that has proof or evidence of their work, meaning they can clearly see that you know what you're doing. Okay. So once you have these answers, you can start moving on and start building this marketing foundation I've been talking about. The first thing that I work on is maximizing your authority. Okay. And the biggest leverage you can have in business is evidence. Okay. Because you want to be able to remove all possible doubt your prospects may have about your business. And the best way to do this is to have as many possible reviews and testimonials as possible so that they cannot challenge it. Okay, so let's run through a quick exercise here. We have two contractors, number one, number two. Contractor one has been 5 years in business, has 200 5-star reviews, and is quoting $25,000 for a project. Contractor two has been in business for 10 years, has only 25-star reviews, and is quoting $22,000 for a quote. Now, the homeowner we're describing here is most likely going to go with contractor one because there is so much proof that this guy does really good work that it's a no-brainer to go with him. Because this contractor may cause headaches. You don't know. But this contractor has evidence that says that this project is going to go very smoothly. Okay. And that's what you want people to think when they look you up on Google or Instagram or anywhere else. They want to think, okay, this is the guy we have to go with because the evidence is just so clear for us. Okay. Now let's talk about why reviews matter. Okay. Because homeowners use reviews in many different ways. The first way, and the way most homeowners use reviews, is they're just going to search you up online before signing anything. They're not going to give you money or pay you anything until they look you up online, see your website, your Google, your reviews, and any other information they can find to ensure that their money is safe and that they will actually get the product that they want out of you. Okay. 91% of homeowners will read your reviews to make a decision, obviously, right? So if you have very bad reviews in there, then there's a good chance you're not going to close the job, or that's just very much going to affect your chances at closing people, and you're going to have to work extra hard to get the job. 84% of homeowners trust reviews as if they're coming from a friend. That's very strong. That's very important, right? So that means that if someone reads a review from on your Google or website or wherever, they're going to take it as if it's coming from a friend, right? So it could be like a referral, quote unquote, right? And 73% of people believe that reviews older than 3 months are irrelevant, which means that you always need to be getting newer reviews. Every time you do a project, you have to get a review so that you always have new reviews on your listing. Okay. Now, the only way you'll get reviews is if you ask for them. Okay. Now, most of the time, homeowners are not going just to write a review for the sake of it. And look, if your clients are doing that, it means that you're doing a really awesome job at delivering your product, which is great. Keep doing that. But you definitely want to have a system to getting reviews from customers. Okay, so every time you receive the final payment for a project, you should automatically ask for a review. And if you get payment before you finish the project, then make sure that once you're doing the final walkthrough of the project to make sure everything's good, once they approve it, ask for a review right away. Don't wait until you leave, send a text or something like that. Just ask for the review right there on the spot. Okay, do not wait until you've left at home, because if you do it in person, you will get more reviews 10 out of 10 times. Okay, because once you do it face to face, they'll feel obligated to say, yes, of course, let me just go ahead and write the review right now. Okay, and if you don't know what to say, just say this, right? Thank you for giving us the opportunity to help you with this project. I'm trying to collect reviews so that more homeowners know that what it's like to work with us. Would you be open to writing a review about your experience with us so that other homeowners can learn about how we work? That's simple. And I would assume 9 out of 10 people will say yes. Okay, I really doubt that if someone is happy with your work, that they'll say no for some reason. Okay, now here's a bonus step that I highly recommend you do. Every time someone writes a review, you want to right away screenshot it and put it in a folder with all of the project photos from that specific project. That way, if you ever have a new lead or someone that wants to do a project with you, you can literally send them that folder with all your projects, all your reviews, so they can go through them and see the quality of your work. And of course, you could also put them on your website if you want, like a wall of reviews. Now, the second step is to get your website in check. Okay. Now, the thing is, a lot of people think that when you have a website, you need to start getting leads from it. And that's not the case. Okay. Your website doesn't have to get you leads. If it does, that's awesome, but it doesn't need to be the goal right away. Okay, your website is there to build trust with potential customers when they look you up online. So you have to make sure your website is built properly and in a way that creates trust with visitors, because I assure you that 99% of people are going to look you up before they do business with you. This also means having social media accounts set up properly, okay? And I'll go over this a little bit later. But this is how your website needs to be structured, okay? The first step is the hero section. So this hero section right here is the first thing someone's going to see when they go into your website. So you want to be focused on what action you want them to take, which is right here to get a quote. And you want them to also be able to see very clearly what you do and how you can help them, and add a line that builds trust and authority. So here, this headline that communicates how you can help can literally be, we build amazing backyards, or we build awesome backyards. Simple, to the point. And below here can say, trusted by over 100 homeowners in X city. Okay, so simple, nothing overcomplicated. I found that people like to get very clever with things, and the reality is that doesn't work anymore. Okay, people don't have time to think about what your headline means or anything like that. They just want to know what you do and if you're the person they should be in contact with. Okay, that's it. So make it simple, make it to the point, and have a clear call to action of what you want them to do next. Okay, and down here you should add what I call trust logos. So it would be Google, Yelp, or anywhere where you have a profile with reviews. You want to add the logo and your rating there. Now, I don't think you need to add a link to those, where if they click, they would go to that profile, but you just want to show them because simply they add trust. People recognize them. So it helps build trust when they're on your website. Below here, we have the services section. This to show visitors what you can help them with. Okay, they just want to look through it, see, okay, they do this, that is what I want. So they are the right company for me. And of course, it's also helped with things like SEO and that type of stuff. So definitely want to add it in there. Again, we add a call to action below so that if someone is ready to take the next step, they can just request a quote from your business. And down here, we have reviews. You definitely want to have reviews on your website no matter what. Again, this is what they call the trust section. They can see that you've successfully helped a bunch of people, and I would add as many reviews as possible. Okay. Then here we have another call to action. And here we have lastly the portfolio section. I put here transformation we've completed in city. I think it's a nice direct headline. And in the portfolio section, you just want to add all the projects you've done, all the photos, anything you can to show people the quality of your work and what you're able to do for them. And lastly, we finish off here with a get quote. And in the website footer, you want to have your logo, your phone number, your email, links to your social profiles, and that type of stuff. Okay. And that's pretty much it. So that's how your website needs to be structured. Now let's move on to content. Okay. So you want to document your work and share content that builds trust. Okay. Now I feel like a lot of people believe that if you want to post content online and get something out of it, that you have to be an influencer. And that's not the case at all. Right? You don't have to be an influencer to benefit from posting content at all. The reason we want to post content is because if a potential client goes to your social media, be it Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is, and they watch 30 minutes to an hour of your content, they will trust you 10 times more than the guy who doesn't have a social media profile. Okay? Think about that. If they find you and they start looking through all of your content, by the time you show up in person, they're going to be like your fans. Like, oh man, I know this guy from Instagram or whatever. And that's how you want them to feel when they finally meet you in person for their estimate. Okay. Now let's talk about the content flywheel, because content can be what I call an indirect source of projects, because unless you're trying to go viral and grow your account, it is very unlikely that it will be a reliable source of projects. Okay. Instead, what it can do is move people to hire you for their projects because of the content you share online. And even if you're not Mr. Biz, this can work for you. Okay. Because if you do it for long enough, content can very easily turn into a flywheel. So let's do this. For example, you complete a project, you create content, and then this content you're going to send to your prospects. When you get a new prospect that books an appointment, you send them, hey, check out our Instagram. We have a lot of valuable content here. You send to your prospect, and then it's going to build trust with them. And because you build a trust, you're more likely to close a project. Now you got a new project that you complete. So then you make more content, right? And so on and so forth. The more content you make, the more trust you build, the more trust you build, the more projects you close. And the more projects you close, the more content you can make again. Okay. So after some time, it'll be like this process that automatically grows itself. And that's exactly what you want. So now let's talk about what type of content you should create, because the purpose of content is not to get you new leads. Okay. It's to build trust with your potential customers. Okay. So to build trust with potential customers, you want them to know, like, and trust you. Okay. And to achieve this, all you want to do is just document what you do on a daily basis. There's really no need to overcomplicate content with like scripts and stuff like that. Just show your work. Okay, you want to share what you're doing and post it online. And there are really three types of content you can create. Okay, we got high reach content, we got authority content, we got offer content. As you can see here, I kind of redid this in a funnel style so you understand the progression of it. So high reach content helps you bring in more people. Authority content helps them trust you, and offer content gets them to reach out and get in touch with you. Okay, and that leads to closed projects. All right, so let's talk about high reach content first. So this type of content is the kind that lots of people can enjoy and understand. It's not targeted to a specific audience, although it can be. And the goal for this type of content is to get you as many views as possible. Okay, to create high reach content, you want to follow trends and focus on entertaining people. And you want to make the type of content that makes people think, oh, I got to send this to X person. And that's pretty much how you go viral. Now, to use this to pretty much build trust, you just want to have fun, right? Just have fun, do your thing, maybe make a joke here and there. Don't make it with the goal of getting millions of views. I mean, if you do, that's awesome. But again, we're focused on building trust. And part of building trust is getting people to like you, right? And you get people to like you by showing them who you are, making jokes, having fun, right? And that's what you want to do here. Then we have authority content. So this type of content is to build your authority in the industry, okay? And it's the most important content you can share, since it shows your viewers that you're the guy for what you're looking for, right? So you could be the hardscape contractor in whatever city you're in. And it not only shows it to them, but also proves it to them. And proof is the most important thing when it comes to selling anything, as you probably already know. So to create authority, you want to go over projects you've completed, customer testimonials, tips for the industry, and anything similar. I really like project walkthroughs for this. I think it's one of the best type of content you can make. Just have a teammate, right? Go ahead and record while you explain what you did in a backyard, right? That easily builds a lot of trust. It showcases your work and puts you in a position to show people that you are the guy for the job. Okay. And essentially, you want to record content that will show people that you know what you're doing and that they can trust your ability to deliver a job well done. Okay. And this is the type of content you want to send to your prospects before you show up to their home to meet with them. Okay. And lastly, we have offer content. So this type of content is a type where you're essentially pitching your services, although it doesn't have to be a direct pitch. Okay. So this content will not go viral and it will not be seen by many people, but it will make you money every now and then. Okay, so this can be a story with a special offer, a post letting people know you're giving out estimates in a certain area, or something similar. Okay, you want to share offer content every 3 to 5 days. It's not something you want to do too often, because people start, checking out, since they feel like you're always trying to sell them something, right? So every couple of days, it's good to do, just to get people that are like on the fence about it to get in touch with you. Okay, now let's talk about setting up your social media accounts the right way. So everyone can create an Instagram account, but not everyone can set it up in a way that creates trust. Okay, so let's go over how to ensure your social media accounts create trust with your audience. So the first thing is obviously the profile picture. If your profile picture isn't your logo, you're doing it wrong. This is because you want people to quickly identify your business account without asking, is this the right account? Okay, you want it to be extremely clear for them. So don't use a picture of a project, a picture of yourself, or just leave it blank, okay? And if you don't have a logo, I add a link right here in this document, which you can get below in the description, and we'll make you a logo for free. No questions asked, just fill out the form and you'll get a logo in a couple days later. Okay, now we have the account name. Your account name should include keywords that people actively search to find your business, okay? And here I don't mean like your handle, right? I mean the title of your account. So instead of using your account name like the business name, instead put your business name and then put hardscaper in city, or landscaper in city, right? Or design and build contractor in city. Okay, that way if someone searches for a hardscaper or whatever you are in your city within Instagram or another platform, you will come up, okay? Because nowadays people actually use TikTok and Instagram as a search engine. So you want to take advantage of that, because most people aren't. And last, we have the bio. So your bio should give people enough info to know if you're what they're looking for. If it takes too long or too much effort to understand, you will definitely lose them. So answer these questions one per line. What do? You could say hardscape contractor in city, right? Where are you located? Why should I trust you? 100 plus reviews on Google. Call to action. Get a free quote here and the link to your booking page or your landing page, okay? Or your website, whatever you have. Step 4, cover your backend, okay? So this has more to do with obviously, the back end of your marketing, because marketing on its own will never get you the result that you want. It needs to be paired with a strong sales process that allows you to qualify leads, book them in for appointments, and nurture them before you meet them. Okay, so let's talk about how to do this successfully. When a lead comes into your business, they need to be handled. Okay, and what I mean by this is that you need to make sure they are led through the right steps in order to get as close as possible to a signed contract. Okay, what I've noticed with most contractors and honestly most businesses is that when a lead comes in, it can take days before anyone reaches out to them. And that's honestly really bad. Okay, So you need to get in touch with leads within 5 minutes, or your chances of getting in touch with them are going to drop by about 80%, which is pretty crazy. And this is not something I randomly came up with. They actually did a study to prove it. So if you can see here, right, this is the chance of you contacting a lead and the time it takes you to reach out. Okay. So if you do from 0 to 5 minutes, your chances are about 90%. You're most likely going to be able to get them on the phone or get them to reply to a text message. Okay. If you wait 6 or more minutes, that drops to 10%. Okay. And it does not get back to 90% ever again. So this is your chance to make money. This is your chance to get them on a calendar, right? This is the opportunity you need to take advantage of to make sure that you are in front of leads, or you are able to get in front of leads as fast as possible to get them to that next step. Okay. And this is what a system like that looks like, because the reality is that this should not be manual. You don't have the time to be on your phone all day and see and wait for a lead to convince you can call them. Okay. It just doesn't work that way. So you want to have an automation system. And this is, by the way, exactly how we do it for our clients. A lead comes in. We wait 5 minutes. We ask, did they book? Yes or no? If they did, okay, we move on to the trust building sequence and, whatever else happens for the appointment. If they didn't, we start sending follow-ups right away, and we repeat up to 7 follow-ups. So we follow up to 7 times with this lead until either they book or until they give us a response that they're either interested and need to wait, or they're not interested anymore for some reason. Okay. So that way our clients are not wasting time chasing leads everywhere. They're just focused on talking to those that booked an appointment. All right, now let's move on. Now, the next step is setting up a long-term nurture system and squeeze the juice out of every lead that you have. The thing is that leads can evolve over time. And for this reason, it is important to have a nurturing process in place so that when a lead does become ready to start their project, you are the first company they ever think of. So in your nurturing emails, you want to send reviews, project photos, any special offers you're running, and anything else that your leads may be interested in, whatever that may be. So you should see your email list as a group of people who already showed interest and are qualified, depending on how you're qualifying your leads, of course. So here's what you need to do to nurture your leads successfully. The first thing is document your work. So like I mentioned in the content section, you need people to know, like, and trust you. Okay. And to make this happen, you want to show them what you're doing on a daily basis. That's pretty much how people connect. So send emails about your product you're starting, talk about something that happened at a job site, or similar things that relates to your work. Okay. Next step is show off your work. So a big part of being seen as the guy for your industry is having authority, right? And the only way to have authority is to show proof that you are good at what you do. So this includes things like completed projects, reviews, testimonials, announcement about hiring a new crew, stuff like that, that make people feel part of a community, of a group, of something. Okay. And essentially anything that lets people know that you are on a good trajectory and that you're not going anywhere. Okay. And lastly, here we have make offer. So the last type of email you should send is an offer-based email. This email includes either a reason to buy something now or book an appointment with you or stuff like that. Like, a special discount, limited availabilities, season is starting, prices are increasing, whatever you can say to get people to take action now. Okay. But you should not send these emails too often because people will get bored and unsubscribe from your list if you do. Okay. So instead, your nurture email should have a 4-to-1 ratio of value to offer. So for every 4 value emails you send, and value means one of these 2, then you send 1 offer email. Okay. That being said, every email you send should include a way to book an estimate with you, but it should be subtle and at the very end of the email, something like PS, if you want to get a free quote for your project, you can book an appointment here with me, right? Something like that that's subtle and not stealthy or pushy. Now, last words on nurturing campaigns. So the success of your email marketing depends on the size and quality of your list, and of course on the consistency of your emails as well. So you won't sign a project every time you send an email, but the cost of sending email is extremely low, which means the ROI of sending just 1 project from your email is absolutely huge. The average ROI from email marketing is 36 to 40 times. This means that for every dollar you spend on email marketing, you can make between $36 to $40 back. But let's look at this in terms of what an average hardscape project goes for. Okay, so to send 10,000 emails, it will cost you anywhere between $30 to $200 depending on the software you're using. So if you only signed 1 project worth $15,000, which is honestly on the low side, your ROI would be between 75 to 500x, which is pretty insane. So for every dollar you spend, you'll make between $75 to $500. So based on that, you should definitely be doing email marketing. Okay. Step 6. So get back your time and focus on what matters. So a big bottleneck when it comes to honestly any contractor is that they don't have enough time on their hands. Not because they generally don't have time, but because most aren't very organized. So before we go into more marketing related steps, let's go over how to make sure your calendar isn't packed 24/7 with meaningless tasks that you shouldn't have to do. So one action item I have here is that write down all the things you usually do on a daily basis. And this is only for your eyes. You need to share with anyone. So just be honest. Okay. Where is your time going? So when it comes to optimizing your daily actions and removing things that don't matter, I like to follow a framework called ESAD: eliminate, simplify, automate, and delegate. So let's work on cleaning up your daily tasks. Okay. So you have your list of tasks that you do on a daily basis. Just write everything you do on a daily basis from the morning up until the evening before you go to bed. So the first thing you want to do is eliminate. Okay. You want to go through the task list you wrote and eliminate all the actions or tasks that you don't need to be doing or don't add value to your business or life. And remember, be ruthless. This is your time we're talking about. Some examples of this can be, checking a Facebook group, Netflix, doing an errand that can be done on the weekend, essentially things that add 0 value to your life or business. Now let's do the same exact thing for tasks you can simplify. So what are some things you have to do yourself, but are unnecessarily complex and take longer than they should? Okay, this could be project communication, documentation, time tracking, payroll, things like that. Like, what are ways you could simplify that process for yourself? Then let's move on into automation. So think about what tasks can be automated. So meaning they don't require someone to manually do everything. Stuff like this can be writing estimates, lead follow-ups, contact generation, signatures and stuff like that. Okay. And lastly, let's define which tasks you can delegate to other people. So stuff like this can be appointment confirmation, lead follow-ups, marketing, lead generation, writing estimates, permits, assessment, qualification calls. All those things could be delegated or even automated, to be honest with you. So once you've done this, your day should essentially be built up by daily tasks that either make you money or are crucial to the operations of your business. So most likely it'll be things like going on estimates and sales meetings, managing and leading your team and crews, thinking about the future of the company and planning ahead, meeting with clients to ensure everything is going as expected, documenting systems and process for the business, reviewing project folders, and making sure everything is organized accordingly. At the end of the day, as the business owner, your time should go to the things that grow your company, right? Working on the business as a project, okay? At first, obviously, you will have to work in the business as you grow it, but your goal should be to slowly remove yourself from the daily operations. Because the only way to grow the business is not to continuously work inside of it, but to get out of it and work on it to make it better. All right, so step 7 is systemize and automate your follow-ups to get an answer instead of chasing leads and protect your time. So there's 2 types of follow-up stages, the booking follow-up and the decision follow-up. So obviously the booking follow-ups are to get people to book an estimate with you, and the decision follow-ups are to get a decision after you send out a quote. Okay, nothing crazy here. So all of your booking follow-ups need to be automated and delegated to an assistant. Okay, this is because your time should not go to someone that hasn't proven themselves to be serious about the project. And if a lead doesn't book an estimate or doesn't try to get in touch with you themselves, they're probably not very serious about it. Okay, so you'd rather focus on people that are already booked, that showed their level of commitment, instead of trying to chase people down to book an appointment with you. Okay, your time should go to them once they commit their time to you. So when a lead comes in, don't start following up yourself. You can call them when they come in if you want, but after that, don't put your time into follow-ups. You have more important things to do. So I added here some templates you can literally just copy and paste into your business, right? I'm not going to go through them one by one just for the sake of time, but the link to this is below this video. You can access it for free. You don't even have to give me your email or any type of information. Just click the link and it's yours. Okay. Next up, we have decision follow-ups. Okay, so your decision follow-ups could be automated. I personally prefer that just because, again, just to save time. But at this point, you've invested time into writing up an estimate, meeting with homeowners, etc. So it may be worth to manually follow up with homeowners if it's a project you really want. Okay, so here I had a few templates here you could use to get an answer from people. But here's a couple notes I wrote. So note 1 is you should always set up a quote review meeting when you're sending out a quote. Okay, that way you're able to gauge what the homeowner is thinking and can usually handle most objections on the spot. Okay, a lot of contractors just send the quote through email or text and then just don't say anything. But what you're doing is just you're sending a price to a homeowner that's usually like a 5-figure, 6-figure project, and then letting the homeowner sell themselves on it. Okay, that's not how you sell a project. You need to book a time, meet with them, and break down the quote and the price and why things cost what they cost, so that they can see the value of what you're doing. Okay. And now number 2, always ask the prospect for a potential start date and add that to the quote estimate. This will help if you need to follow up and have to add urgency to get a decision from the prospect, as you see in one of our follow-ups. Okay. So that's it. And look, based on this stuff, we've been able to help our clients do really amazing things. Jay here closed $80,000 in 2 weeks implementing our system. Andres he's closed about $1 million since he joined us. And let me update that right here. In about 18 months working with us, after burning over $20,000 on other lead sources. Abraham here closed $100,000 within 5 months after failing to see a return with other marketing partners. Juan here made $300,000 under 4 months, even though he was only making $19,000 per month before working with us. Okay, so if you want us to implement this for you, there's a link below this video and there's also a link inside this document. So you can come in here and book a marketing evaluation call with myself, and we'll go through your current marketing, figure out where we can improve, and build a custom plan for you. All right, so that's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you liked it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.